Hello and welcome to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Thank you so much for joining us for another segment. We're going to be speaking with returning guest Robyn Knecht. She's joining as Director of Counseling Services at St. Joseph Indian School in South Dakota. She's returning to talk about the school and equine therapy and the benefits as providers, how St. Joseph's equine therapy program is making a difference in the lives of Native American youth, and the significance of the horse in Native American culture. Welcome back, Robyn. How have you been?
Wonderful. Thanks for having me again.
Well, thanks for returning. For those who may not be familiar with you as a contributor, give us a bit of your professional background and talk about your role at St. Joseph's Indian School in South Dakota, if you would.
Yes. I have a master's in counseling, and I'm also a licensed professional counselor with the state of South Dakota. I work at St. Joe's. I've been here for 17 years, and I'm the Director of Counseling Services.
Why was the school created? Why was the school founded?
Yes, we are a residential school, and we serve Native American children and families. And we were founded by the Priests of the Sacred Heart, and there was a need within the tribal communities in South Dakota, and the Priests of the Sacred Heart saw that need and started the school to fill that.
When was it founded?
1927.
1927. These resources, are they hard to come by or sparsely located within the community?
Many rural communities in South Dakota are very rural, and access to services is very limited or non-existent. And so we see that within tribal communities as well. Access to mental health services is very limited, and other educational resources is limited.
It's even more limited within the Lakota community. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yes, you are. There's also a lack of funding a lot of times within tribal communities to provide those resources.
Now, I understand that St. Joseph's is involved in equine therapy. The horse is a big part of our culture here, but I would say that it's even much more a part of the culture of the Lakota.
Yes, it is. We began our equine therapy program in 2018. It's a program that's continuing to grow and develop to meet the needs of our students. So this program not only focuses on the therapeutic component of equine therapy, but it's also a way for us to reconnect students to their cultural traditions. The horse is seen as a sacred gift from the Creator, and so being able to bring horses to campus has a sacred component as well. Our counselors have been trained with Native American elders as well as other equine therapy models, and so our goal is to bring more culture into therapy sessions and do this as often as we can. Throughout our training, an elder taught us that by bringing horses to campus, we were bringing back the ancestors to our children, and so that really resonated with the counseling department and is something that we want to keep fostering and developing. So we offer this opportunity so our students have that lifelong connectedness to their cultural identity. Horses are very helpful with students in healing from mental and emotional distress. Sometimes students growing up in environments that can be particularly challenging. The horse is another way to facilitate that healing.
Now, is this something that takes place over the course of a summer? Is it woven into, I guess, the weekly or daily curriculum? How often are the children exposed to this type of therapy?
Our overarching goal with equine therapy is to have horses be part of campus life in all aspects. You know, horses are seen as our relatives with the Native culture, and so we really want to have the horses present for everything that we can. And so first through eighth grade students have access to the horses once a week during their guidance class for 45 minutes. So every student is able to participate in a group activity with the horses. Outside of the classroom setting, we offer therapy sessions and group work, and we also have a family camp that we host in the summer for families to participate in.
Are there any discussions or activities that attempt to reconcile or at least understand the treatment of horses outside the Native American culture?
I think the big difference that we see with horses and treatment outside of the Native community is there's a more sacred component within the Native community regarding the horse than, per se, a horse at a ranch in the local community. And so really what we're trying to do is teach the students that, the care of the horse and making sure the horse has everything that they need, especially after a therapy session. The horse also has to process that emotion and that trauma, and so making sure that we're allowing that space and time and that the student's part of that process of taking care of our relative and thanking them for the work that they've done with us.
And how are the horses incorporated into all campus aspects?
All of our work with the horses currently is considered boots on the ground, so we do not have a riding program right now. At some point in the future, once we get our barn complete and can progress to that, we're looking into that, but right now it's all boots on the ground. So it's students doing activities in a round pen with the horses, it's students walking horses, grooming horses, feeding, taking part in that care aspect as well.
Were they all bred in the area? Are they shipped in?
Yes, we have 7 horses currently, and our equine specialist helped us select these horses. So she was able to vet the horses and put them through an obstacle course to make sure that they were the right fit for our program. We had the benefit of she actually raised these horses as well, so she picked from her herd what horses would be best suited to work with children. You know, a therapy horse is a very special horse. It has to be a horse that's very calm, that can kind of handle the stressors that gets put on them through the emotions that are processed. And so looking for the ideal horse involves many different facets, but one of the main things is that they have to be safe and calm and able to be around children most of the day without any problems.
And as far as feedback, I'm sure that families are overjoyed by some of the results.
Yes, we also have a lot of families that are connecting with the horses as well. One of the things that we try and do when students return in the fall for the first day of school, we have the horses part of that event, and so they greet families at the entrance of campus and really kind of take part in smudging and prayer and any activity that we do with the students for, like our sobriety celebrations where we do sobriety walks. The horses are part of that. We also do awareness campaigns for missing, murdered, Indigenous persons, and so the horses will be part of those campaigns as well, and just trying to bring the horses into every aspect of campus life.
Well, is there anything that you'd like to add for our listeners about your equine program there at St. Joseph's?
I think the main focus would be is if anybody's considering equine therapy, I encourage them to try it. It's a very different modality than an office setting where there's talk therapy. Equine therapy really allows you to connect with a sacred animal at a level that allows you to process emotions and trauma in a different way. And it's very beneficial for people who maybe are hitting a plateau in therapy to try a different approach. And so I encourage, giving equine therapy a try.
Is there a website where we can learn more about the program and about the school?
Yes, we have 2 websites available. One is our main website, and that's stjo.org. And then we also have a website that focuses more on our programming, and that is sjiskids.org.
Well, always a pleasure, Robyn. I appreciate you coming back and sharing some more of your time with us. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with returning guest Robyn Knecht, Director of Counseling Services at St. Joseph's Indian School in South Dakota. Audio copies of this program are available at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, listen in, download at SoundCloud, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com, Health Professional Radio.